Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to remind you of something simple, yet profoundly important. It's time to wake up. Not just from your sleep at night, but from the slumber that has taken root in your waking life. You see, we have all been living in a kind of dream, a dream shaped by the expectations, fears, and conditioning of society. And in this dream, we have forgotten who we really are, what we're really capable of, and the extraordinary, vibrant world that lies right before our eyes. When we are born into this world, we enter it without any preconceived notions. We are pure awareness, fully alive and open to the vastness of existence. But over time, we are taught to narrow our vision. We are taught that life is a problem to be solved, a series of tasks to be completed, a game to be won. We are told that happiness lies in acquiring things, in achieving success, in fitting into a mold that someone else has created for us. And so we wake up each day not with a sense of wonder and possibility, but with a sense of duty, of obligation. We race through life not truly seeing, not truly experiencing. We live in a state of distraction, our minds constantly caught up in what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, never fully engaged with the here and now. But I am here to tell you that this is not living. This is a kind of sleep, a sleep that is deeper than the physical slumber we experience at night. This sleep keeps us from realizing that we are not separate from the world, but that we are in fact part of it. We are not separate from the stars or the oceans, from the mountains or the wind. We are part of the eternal dance of the universe. And it's time to wake up to that truth. Now, waking up doesn't mean escaping from life. It means seeing life as it truly is, not as we think it should be. It means letting go of the illusion that we can control everything, and instead surrendering to the flow of existence. The world is not something to be conquered, it is something to be experienced, to be lived, to be embraced with open arms. When we wake up, we stop seeing ourselves as isolated individuals struggling to survive. We begin to see ourselves as part of a much larger whole, as threads in the vast tapestry of life. And when we see ourselves in this way, everything changes. The way we relate to others, the way we interact with nature, the way we view our work, our relationships, our very existence, all of it shifts. It is time to stop living in the fog of illusion, in the prison of the mind. It is time to break free from the chains of social conditioning, of fear and of doubt. It is time to reclaim the simplicity, the beauty, and the joy of being fully alive. Awakening the call to true awareness. Awakening is the process of coming to a deeper realization of who we truly are, beyond the conditioning and distractions of everyday life. It is the shift from living in a dreamlike state, where we are disconnected from the present moment, to living in a state of full awareness, where we are in tune with the world around us and the essence of our own being. This awakening is not something that happens once and is then complete. It is an ongoing process, a continual deepening of awareness, a continual shedding of the layers that obscure the truth of who we are. We live in a world that often values doing over being, achieving over experiencing, and thinking over feeling. From a young age, we are taught that we must strive for success, accumulate possessions, and meet external expectations. We become so focused on external goals that we forget to look inward. The result is that we begin to sleepwalk through life, disconnected from our true nature, from the beauty of the present moment, and from the simple joy of being alive. Awakening is the moment when we begin to remember that life is not a race to the finish line, but a journey to be experienced fully in every moment. It is the moment when we realize that our true essence is not bound by the roles we play or the identities we adopt. We are not our thoughts, our jobs, or our social status. We are not defined by our successes or failures. We are something much more vast, much more interconnected with the universe itself. We are awareness itself. This awakening is not about rejecting the world or escaping from life's challenges. It is about fully embracing the reality of the present moment, as it is, without the need to manipulate or control it. When we awaken, we let go of the illusion that we can control every aspect of our lives, and instead we surrender to the flow of life. We begin to see that the world is not something to be conquered or fixed, it is something to be experienced, to be cherished, and to be lived in all its beauty and imperfection. True awakening happens when we stop living on autopilot, when we stop letting life pass us by. It happens when we realize that the moment we have been waiting for, the moment we have been searching for, is always right here, right now. Awakening is the realization that we are already complete, that we are already whole, and that all we need to do is wake up to the truth of who we are. Illusion, the veil that hides reality. The concept of illusion is central to understanding how we experience the world and ourselves. We live in a world full of illusions, mental constructs, and societal beliefs that shape our perception of reality. These illusions are not necessarily false on their own, but they distort the way we see the world and our place in it. The illusion begins the moment we start believing that our thoughts and beliefs are the only way to view reality. We become trapped in a mental framework that keeps us from seeing things as they truly are, and instead we see them as we want or expect them to be. One of the most powerful illusions is the sense of separation. From a young age, we are taught that we are individuals separate from the world and from other people. We are taught that our identity is something fixed, something we must defend and protect. We believe that who we are is defined by our name, our job, our social status, and the roles we play in society. But this is an illusion. In reality, we are not separate from the world around us. We are deeply interconnected with all of existence. Every thought, every action, every breath we take is part of the vast web of life. The illusion of separation also manifests in the way we view time and space. We see time as something linear, something we can control, plan, and manipulate. We live in constant fear of the future and regret for the past. But the truth is, time is not a fixed, linear force. It is fluid, ever-changing, and ultimately an illusion of the mind. The present moment, the only real moment, is all that truly exists. The past and future are mere constructs of the mind, projections of thought that we create to make sense of our experiences. Our thoughts, too, are part of the illusion. We often identify with them, believing that they are who we are. We think we are our thoughts, our fears, our desires, and our judgments. But this is not the truth. Thoughts come and go, just like the weather. They are fleeting, temporary, and do not define us. We are the awareness that observes them, not the thoughts themselves. The more we identify with our thoughts, the more we become trapped in the illusion that they are our reality. The illusion of control is another powerful force that keeps us from seeing life as it truly is. We believe that we can control our circumstances, that if we plan enough or work hard enough, we can shape the world to our will. But life is far more unpredictable than that. We cannot control everything, and the more we try, the more we suffer. When we let go of the illusion of control, we begin to see that life is not something to be managed, but something to be experienced, to be felt, and to be surrendered to. Breaking free from these illusions is the key to awakening. When we let go of the false ideas that we cling to, ideas of separation, time, control, and identity, we begin to see the world with clarity. We begin to experience life as it is, not as we think it should be. We see that the world is not something to be understood through logic and analysis, but something to be experienced with openness and acceptance. The illusion begins to dissolve, and what remains is the profound truth that we are not separate from the world, but deeply interconnected with it, part of the great flow of existence. Flow, the natural rhythm of life. Flow is a state of being where we are fully immersed in the present moment, functioning at our highest level of creativity, clarity, and performance. It is often described as the experience of being in the zone where everything seems to fall into place effortlessly. In this state, we are no longer burdened by distractions or worries. Instead, we are one with the task at hand, moving with the natural rhythm of life. Flow is not something that can be forced or controlled, but rather something that arises when we allow ourselves to be fully engaged and open to the experience of the moment. At its core, flow is about being present fully, deeply present in what we are doing. Whether it's a creative endeavor, a physical activity, or a simple conversation, flow occurs when we are so involved in the process that time seems to stretch or disappear. In these moments, there is no judgment, no anxiety, no self-consciousness. There is only the pure experience of what is happening right now. Flow is not just about achieving success or completing a task, it is about embracing the process itself. The challenge lies not in the end result, but in the engagement with the moment. When we are in flow, we are not concerned with outcomes or expectations, we are simply allowing the experience to unfold as it will. This is why flow is often associated with activities that are intrinsically rewarding, where the activity itself is the reward, not the external results. It is the feeling of total immersion, of losing oneself in the task, that brings joy and fulfillment. The beauty of flow is that it occurs naturally when we let go of the need to control or overthink. It happens when we align ourselves with the inherent rhythm of life. Just like a river flowing smoothly over rocks, when we surrender to the current of our actions, we experience the natural ease of movement. We stop forcing, stop trying too hard, and simply allow ourselves to flow with the experience. However, achieving flow requires the right balance between challenge and skill. It is in this balance that we find the sweet spot where we are engaged but not overwhelmed. If the task is too easy, we may become bored. If it's too difficult, we may feel frustrated. Flow happens when there is a perfect match between our abilities and the challenges we face. In this state, we feel fully alive, fully engaged, and fully capable of handling whatever comes our way. In our everyday lives, we can experience flow in a wide range of activities. It could be in writing, playing music, cooking, exercising, or even in simple conversations. The key is to be present, to let go of distractions, and to embrace the process without worrying about the outcome. When we enter the state of flow, we tap into a deeper part of ourselves, a part that knows how to move with the rhythm of life and perform with ease and grace. Flow is a reminder that life is not meant to be a struggle, but a dance. It's about surrendering to the moment, trusting that we are exactly where we need to be, and moving with the natural currents of life. When we experience flow, we stop fighting against life's challenges and start flowing with them. And it is in this effortless state that we find joy, peace, and fulfillment.